Our conditions shifting back to mildly bullish. A nice intraday counter trend there. We saw a pretty deep sell-off yesterday pre-market in the futures market, and it essentially from the open we rallied from there, and a decent confirmation or a decent bottoming tail bar happening here on the futures. A little bit of a positive move this morning, not a whole lot here. Let's jump over and look at SPX. We're seeing that shorter term trend certainly curling back down, being a little bit repelled and rejected here by these most recent highs, all-time highs on the market. Majority bullish on SPY, 13 and 1. Still, you can see a little bit of weakness happening right here on some of these trends as we're sitting at these resistance levels, and how news regarding AI is really affecting markets and tech. Primarily, we saw a nasty sell-off in NASDAQ, which recovered quite quickly as well. Let's jump over and look at breadth. We saw a pretty nice move here. Continue to see strength here back to 60. So we're getting a majority now back, or back up above 50. Majority of stocks in the S&P back above their 50-day moving average. You can see we're back to majority bullish here on this as well. That shifted back to majority bullish, all bullish at 14 yesterday. So some strength here internally with the number of stocks participating in this rally. We did see VIX spike and then immediately retrace back down again. So definitely some volatility right here with a little edge of bullishness on these pullbacks, seeing some buying taking place still on these retracements. We're seeing the short end of the yield curve, SHY, having some strength here as we're getting trend compression, majority bullish at 14 on the daily time frame, and TLT, the longer end of that yield curve, we're seeing some strength here as well, as it had an extended trend to the downside here, majority bearish still on TLT, but the intraday chart here on the 1 hour time frame, you're seeing some strength as that trend has shifted back to majority bullish intraday there on the 1 hour. So some strength internally on bonds as well. The rates, we're seeing rates pull back just a little bit here the last few days, again with that bond rally. That's the 2-year. We're also seeing the 10-year pull back just a little bit here as well. Not a real significant move. We're still seeing rates on the 2-year and 10-year hovering right around that 4.5% range. We're seeing some strength in Dow right here as well, and decent pullback. Again, everything gapped lower, immediately had some rallying, so there's still some demand and some interest in this market at these levels. Triple Qs got hit the hardest. Technology stocks, some of the big names that are spending a lot of money on AI, and the report essentially was saying that China can develop the same thing that America's been doing and have it took $6 million in 2 months versus years and years of the amount of development. So it spooked the markets a little bit here, technology primarily, and we'll see if we still get some support at these levels. We're seeing majority bearish now in the 1 hour with triple Qs, and 9 and 5 on the daily time frame. So pretty big blow to tech yesterday. We'll see if it gets some recovery here, or if we continue to see some fading in that index. IWM, which is the Russell 2000, the small cap names, nice trend compression here, majority bullish at 14. 1 hour time frame also bullish, but a little bit of a retracement, some weakness. We'll see if that also gets some buying activity at these support levels. We're seeing USO, which is oil, still continuing that retracement, now pulling back in this most recent trend all the way back to that corrective box, the 382 to 618 zone. When I say corrective box, I'm talking about this range of Fibonacci retracement. It's connecting this high point, this low point. This is the trend for the time frame. This is the structure of that time frame. Anything above 382 is still momentum. Anything deeper than that becomes corrective, and that can just take a little bit more time to find the support and then ultimately continue the trend, versus as we find the support earlier in that retracement, there's just more demand happening. So seeing some weakness here in USO. Also GLD, the upper end of that range, sitting at all-time highs. We talked about this expanded trend yesterday on the 1 hour time frame, and it started to retrace back down here again. That's quite common as you're getting these compression and then expansion on trends. Doesn't mean this rally is over, just means it needs to consolidate a little bit for build up a little more demand and momentum for more upside breakout. SLV also finding a similar price pattern to gold, some significant weakness on this pattern shifting back to majority bearish, even as you're getting trends that are compressed right here. You can see that happen. It's kind of trying to decide, are we going to break out to the upside? Are we going to continue to the downside? A little bit of a question here on SLV, as well as it has a little bit of weakness. It could certainly find some support. These could all tick back up today. So keep an eye on SLV if those metals, the metal markets are of interest to you. A couple of stock names to consider. FOX, nice confirmation bar, increased volume in momentum. Fox News, they may benefit going forward with a Republican president, as that channel tends to lean that direction a little bit more. We're also seeing SMPL, nice confirmation move in the foods market. We're seeing big rally in consumer goods, non-durables, and the Cokes, the Pepsis, the Procter & Gamble's. You're seeing those in some of these scans here as well in the new buy list. We go a little bit deeper in this list. See if we can find a couple of other names here. You've got Coca-Cola, which is in a deeper retracement. So you've got a pretty deep retracement, but it potentially is finding some support and could be some upside. We saw Coke in there, saw Procter & Gamble in that list, getting some momentum here as well. A little bit deeper in the list, we saw Pepsi, and so some of these big consumer names seeing a move right here. I thought I saw. There's eBay. McDonald's, Kimberly-Clark. So here's McDonald's. McDonald's has a nice looking price pattern actually right here. A good solid move, bouncing off 50% retracement. Good confirmation bar as well. Pretty big name there in McDonald's, particularly in that consumer goods space, maybe of interest also today. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.